Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and Happy New Year. Now, we have a new ship. And without further ado, let me introduce you to the Lightning, the British Tier 7 destroyer. Now, I know what you're thinking right off the bat. Spartan, I didn't know you were going up that line. I wasn't. It was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I was like, you know what? I want to try some other destroyers out. And I'd already started up this line. I think I was at Tier 4, halfway or 2/3 of the way done with Tier 4. So I was just like, you know what? Let's go ahead, free XP all the way through to the Tier 7. I had like 30 million silver lying around. So might as well use it, right? And so I did. I bought the Lightning. And I gotta say, I have a brand new favorite when it comes to destroyers. I'm not playing the Kagero anymore. It'll be Lightning from here on out for me. This thing is fantastic. But without further ado, let's I gotta stop saying that. I said that like 3 times already in this video. Alright, let's jump in. Upgrades and loadout. Of course, we've got Aiming Systems Mod 1. We've got Propulsion Mod. We've got Concealment System, obviously. And we've got Torpedo Tubes. Now, we have all 3 upgrades, and if we go to our commander, we are using REGINALD TYRWHITT. So if we go, oops, I do that every time too, I think. Alright, go into here, and we have his skill, which is True Grit. As you can see, I've got him to level 12, I believe. And the reason I went to level 12 is because it gives you this right here. It gives you the last level of the torpedo tube's reload time, and that is where this thing shines. I will get into the PvP aspects. This thing is fantastic. This is my favorite by far of all the destroyers, and it's not even close. Raizo Tanaka is our first inspiration, obviously, for the torpedo damage. And then the second one, we have Eric Bay, which gives us a little bit of a reduced detectability. I need to get him upgraded some more. I don't run a whole lot of destroyers, so that's why it's kind of a low level. He's only at level 6. But we get a little 1.8% bonus to our detectability on our destroyers. And then if you look here, we've got Subsurface Venture, we've got Fragile Threat, we've got Torpedo Safari, and we've got the Smoke on the Water perk. I could have went with this, but losing the precision of the main guns is something I don't want to do, so we take the Smoke instead, and I will be honest, it's fantastic. I don't know how much this particular perk helps me, but the Smoke in this thing is fantastic. Unstoppable, this allows me when my engine gets knocked out to keep at least moving forward and not just be dead in the water. So, big help. Huge help. And as you can see, we've got him Legend Class 2 because he had 4 of his commendations, his personal commendations sitting here, so went ahead and used them. But with that being said, let's go check out the stats. I know I kind of went a little odd today, but if we look at the stats on this thing, survivability, 14,300 hit points, is right in the wheelhouse with your Kagero and your Fletcher. It's not the tankiest thing in the world. The Germans own that record, I believe. Artillery has 120mm guns, so they're a little bit smaller, but they reload every 5 seconds. And it's got 6 of them, 3 turrets, 2 in the front, 1 in the rear, which is a huge advantage because 2/3 of your firepower is over the nose of your ship. So when you're fighting another destroyer, you don't have to give that broadside and allow yourself to easily be critical damaged by their high explosive that they're shooting back. But yeah, I'm a real big fan. Plus a 9% set to chance to set on fire. I'm not sure where this stands as far as other destroyers go, but I will say this thing seems to set a lot more fires than any of the other destroyers I've used so far, aka American and Japanese. Torpedoes, we get 8 torpedo launchers, 533mm, so not the biggest torps, but the reload time is amazing. We've got the reload time down to just 68 seconds, which is just over a minute. It's insane. It doesn't feel like it's that long, because by the time your torpedoes hit, you're almost ready to get another one. And also, they go 10.8 kilometers, which is pretty good. They're not amazing. It's not, 11.5 kilometers of the Japanese, but from this range, I feel like you're more effective anyway. So even though the Japanese has a longer range, being able to get up in there and get your torps on target seems much more accurate with this thing. and I'll go over that in game because I've got some fantastic games. Also, AA, I feel like this thing has better AA than most of the other destroyers. I'm just throwing that out there. I have no idea, but this thing shot down several planes tonight in my first, running of this ship. Maneuverability is pretty good, actually. 36 knots, I feel like, is a little bit slow. I think most of the destroyers are like 37, 38 knots, and then with the boost, they get over 40, but we don't get an engine boost. That's a downside. Concealment is right there, identical to my Kagero, which is fantastic. 5.2 kilometers, yes, you can get that a lot lower if you get, a lot. You can get it down into the, I think, 4.8 max if you wanted to. We're not going that route. We're just wanting to have the best of everything. So we have great concealment at 5.2 kilometers, and then all of the rest is just amazing. Okay? And for the overview, hidden. Its good concealment means that it can get closer to enemies before being detected, which is amazing. It's got extended sonar. The range or duration is increased. Now, this thing has really long, active sonar. It lasts like 2.5 minutes. It's really good. It's cruiser-esque, okay? So, very good for when you get into those destroyer battles and they smoke up and you're within 3 kilometers and you hit that button and they just light up like a Christmas tree and you finish them off. It's fantastic. Love it. Sequential. Torpedoes can be launched one by one. This is a British destroyer perk that only they get. It's tube by tube, and it is fantastic for those pesky guys that want to charge your smoke screens or just like to sail in straight lines. Because if you've ever seen a lightning tube by tube you, it is terrifying how many torps it seems to throw at you in one line. They were just following one another. It's terrifying. Let's look at the overview. An L-class destroyer, a next step in the development of the J-class ships. In comparison with her predecessor, she had fewer torpedo tubes and new, more powerful 120mm guns mounted in turrets with the design that enabled firing at aircraft. So, very nice. And then she entered service 1941, and she had eight ships that were built. All right. So, without wasting too much more time, I just want to get back to show you guys a look around the ship real quick. Just kind of going to pan around her. You can see. It's a good-looking ship. Never mind the candy cane design here. I do like this ship a lot. And like I said, it isn't even close. This is definitely my favorite destroyer to date. This thing is fantastic. So, I will see you guys in the gameplay. Alright, now getting down to it, we are on Two Brothers, and the very first thing you're going to notice is that there is an enemy Yamato. I had to think and compose myself, otherwise I was going to call it Yamato again, and everybody going to get mad at me. Yamato on the enemy team. And they are down 2 ships because of it. Now, the other thing you're going to notice is we have 2 destroyers, they have 1. But I am in my brand new favorite destroyer, the Lightning. And this thing is amazing. There are very few ships that I have, like, fear of engaging with this thing. And that is another Lightning, because it's not a good trade. You just, even if you're the better player, it's not a good trade. It's a lot of damage you're going to take. I know, cue the Flex Seal guy. I'm going to get super aggressive right off the bat in this thing. Because of the concealment being as good as my Kagero, I don't have to, like, push, like, I don't have to worry about pushing. I can push out. And we're going to go out here. Yamato. Oh, God, I did it again. Yamato. Yamato is back there. You can see him in the distance. And we are just trying to figure out exactly what he's planning. I don't want to hurry up and throw my torps out there. Notice that I am in the tube by tube configuration here because it is amazing. And there's going to be a few times where I make mistakes with the tube by tube, and I want to, like, point that out. Mainly is when you switch from the front to the rear launcher, or from vice versa, you fire your first 4 torpedoes and then it switches launchers to the last 4 torpedoes, right? And when that happens, it throws your aim off. and I get in a hurry of spamming torpedoes, and I do that. But in the greater, like, scheme of things, it's not the worst thing. Because even when it does that, it's only jumping so far, and it doesn't ruin me too much. But I do it all the time. Now, we spot the lightning first. We get the first salvo off. We get a good hit on him. Knock his steering out. He knocks ours out. And he smokes up. I smoke up. We sail away from one another. And then he gets this salvo. Wait for it. Come on. We spot each other again because we're doing the exact same thing. Neither of us staying in our smoke screen. And I'm going to just go ahead and just completely disengage. I'm going to start turning away. I'm going to turn, and he nails my propulsion. Now, this is where, oh my god, I try to turn, and I actually end up taking more rounds because I was trying to turn. I lose that first engagement. I have no idea how those guys managed to not get hit by any of those torpedoes. But it is a thing that did just happen. And here's another one of those where I throw the torpedoes out. I'm waiting for the second set of torps. I'm going to run past the island, but luckily it's the rear, so we just throw them all out there and see what sticks. And do we sneak them past? It's going to be close. Nope, we lost 2 of our torpedoes. Damn it. But, again, it's a great ship, and even though, hey, look, torpedoes, it's almost like we knew that was going to be a thing. And here's the best part. I may have lost the engagement with that other destroyer right off the bat. Okay? But I'm going to win the war. You guys are going to see me just absolutely decimate this game. And it ain't even going to be close. The enemy has me outnumbered so badly right now. But it doesn't matter. Hey, look, Amagi. Hold these for me. Wait for it. Pow! Owie. Owie. That Amagi just got touched in the most unfortunate of ways. And then he gets touched from the other side. Now I've got torpedoes again. I'll just go ahead and start throwing these out. He's not expecting them to come from this side. And notice I start throwing some out ahead of it just in case he decides to turn. Because I'm assuming he's going to start bow tanking these guys, which would start to drift him this way. Now, he's already hurting. He's lost a lot of health. We're going to go ahead and use one of our smoke screens. Now, the British smoke screens are short duration, but you get a lot of them, and the cooldown is quick. So we can use these for situations like this when a guy's low health to try to set him on fire. And, of course, this is the one time that I can't seem to set a fire on a guy. But it doesn't matter because I got a whole lot of angry fish. And down he goes. So, our first kill. We're up to 45,000 damage. Thank you, Amagi. Appreciate you. And nice dueling with you. Isn't it fun shooting or like taking torpedoes from things you can't see? You never even had a chance. But it's okay. Because while I'm getting all kinds of cocky, I'm still in the back of my mind knowing that that lightning knows that I'm lower health than him. He already got the better of me once. He's probably thinking, I can do it again. So he launches a bunch of torpedoes ahead of where he thought I was heading. And I'll be real honest. Had I not popped my hydroacoustic and started turning, he may have gotten me. That was a well-placed torpedo strike by him. Unfortunately for him. Now, I'm assuming I'm about to get engaged in a fight again, and I don't want to be right there in front of everybody on his team when it happens. But I notice I'm not getting detected. So, me being the person that I am, I'm like, alright, if they're going to let me do it, this Yamato is, oh, hello. Well, it's fancy meeting you over here, Mr. Lightning. How you doing? Go ahead and fire your guns some more so my buddies can potentially shoot you. Now, I was thinking about it, but I don't want to give away to this Yamato that I'm here. And I am going to set up the most disgusting torpedo strike that has ever been done to anybody in World of Warships Legends. Look how much health this Yamato has. He has a lot. Not quite 97,000, but he's got a lot of health. Let's see if we can't whittle him down a bit, shall we? We've got an island here just begging for it. And, oh, there's one of those oopsie moments. And we just throw all the torpedoes at him. And this is where the British destroyers become disgusting. Because you don't have, like, torpedo spreads. I mean, you can use the spread. But you don't really have the torpedo spread that you have with others. Which means you can get a disgusting amount of torpedoes on target. Wait for it. How many do you think I'm going to hit him with? That's right. All of them. Goodbye, Yamato. 6 torpedoes land. Even though we technically hit him with all, we only needed 6 to kill him. And that was a devastating strike. And just like that, we have 128,000 damage. And everybody's cursing me out. I wanted to kill the Yamato. Too late, sunshine. Head back to port. Oh, wait. There's still some more to have. We've got 2 kills. We've got 128,000 damage. But I feel like we can do more. What do you guys think? Now, this was the first match that I really thought that I would be like, yeah, I'll throw this one on YouTube. Mainly because of the sinking of the Yamato there. But we do end up having a pretty fantastic game. We've already got 2 kills. We've got 128,000 damage. And what if I were to tell you that this is just the beginning? We're going to get the other 2 kills here. We are going to absolutely go over here and wreck the rest of these guys. And I will be honest with you. I have not been in a destroyer where I've felt this comfortable. I'm not scared of anything in this thing. The only threat that I'm afraid of is, you know, radar cruisers, obviously. Or Atlantas, which are radar cruisers, but, you know, Atlantas in particular, destroyers don't have a chance against in a 1v1 versus an Atlanta, if the Atlanta knows what he's doing. But in every other situation, I feel like I'm in my wheelhouse. Like, this thing feels pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty darn good. Now, we have an angry smokescreen ahead. We know that he was last there. We know that this Mogami is here, and we are going to kind of bait this Mogami in. We're going to fire on his course right now. He starts changing course. Okay? So, in order to get him to change course back towards the direction we want him to, we start firing at him. I'm in the open water. I want to try to get damage on him. We go ahead and we're about to pop smoke because I don't want a chance getting shot by this thing. And you can see I've already popped it. We're slowing down to stay in the smoke screen. We want to set a fire. Come on.
Smoke screen set.
Spartan, you gotta set the fire. I thought you said this thing sets a lot of fires. Well, it normally does. But in this case, we don't need the fire because angry fish inbound. And he's sailing right into them. You gotta love it. Just sometimes being a destroyer is just too easy. But we're not done. The friendlies are like, hey, we win. All right, we're going to go ahead and cap this out. And I'm like, nah, I got some revenge planned for this guy. He may have got the better of me the first time, but I feel like I can take him. And I just go looking for him. I'm hoping that he's trying to cut back and come to me. And it ends up working out just exactly as I had planned, which is pretty hilarious. Because most of the time when I go looking for people, they run away. Hi! How you doing? Okay, you've got more health than me, so I've got to be accurate. Real accurate. We've hit both of our salvos so far. He's hitting, but he's not doing that much damage. And then we start hitting towards the front, making sure that we get those big hits off. We've definitely taken the lead in this engagement. Are we going to finish him? Come on. Oh, come on. Couple more shots. You've got to be kidding me! We set him on fire, but we're not happy with that. We got to finish him off. Getting our revenge in the end. And finishing the game with 4 kills. With 152,000 damage and 13 torpedoes hit. top of the leaderboard. 2,500 base XP. Not bad. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.